I used to have several sites. Now I kind of like the grower's edge. It gives me that cash max. You can tell it which markets you're looking for, and it will tell you what your highest net back is based on the price they're paying at that time and the basis that they're paying. And that's pretty handy because I don't have to go to so many different sites.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's October 1st, 2014. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Cody Bills. Well, we finally had a green close for corn, soybeans, and wheat in Chicago. Take a look at the iPad here. We had corn up 3/4 cent, soybeans picking up 4 1/4, and we had Chicago wheat closing up a penny. Just a reminder, if you want to get this trading platform on your own iPad, iPhone, Android, or tablet, visit us over at grainhedge.com. It's a great tool that a lot of our producers are using now that we're getting into harvest. As I said though, Cody, we had a green close here in Chicago, something we haven't seen here a lot of recently in the last couple weeks. Soybeans in particular had a little bit of strength here today, even though only closing up 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at soybeans only closing up 4 1/4, like you said, but when you look at the price action today, I think that tells a little bit bigger story. We traded down to about 9.04. We were down in the negatives here this morning. We were able to come out of that, closing 4 1/4 cents higher here. So we're trending higher on the hourly. I wouldn't be surprised if $9 continues to hold support. You know, who knows? We may get a little bit of a short covering rally for a couple of days. I don't suspect this is an overall trend changer, but I do think we're going to have to battle through $9, and sometimes as a part of this battle, you have a little bit of a bounce.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. You know, corn really didn't have a lot of strength today to talk about, only closing up 3/4 cent. We did have relatively light ethanol numbers here once again reported. If you take a look at this chart here, ethanol production was off 8,000 barrels per day, averaging 881,000 per day here last week. You can see though, as we've talked about a lot on GrainTV, these week over week figures do remain very strong when comparing it to the last 5 marketing years. And we do tend to find a bottom first week in October in terms of ethanol production, with weekly in production increasing through December and into January. So that would be the case again this year as far as our outlook. Right now though, crush margins do remain relatively weak compared to where we've seen them since really the beginning of 2014. One thing though to keep in mind is that we continue to see ethanol producers remain relatively strong in the cash market. We'll be discussing that in more detail on Friday's show, but it really remains a basis story that if you're looking to price forward grain, take an extra careful look at some ethanol markets within your area there. There are some premiums out there still for ethanol producers that are aggressive about getting corn in the door. You know, Cody, looking forward here, we do have Thursday's export sales coming down the pipe. What's the trade kind of looking for as we look toward that report?
Well, first of all, export sales in terms of expectations here. Wheat between 400 and 600,000 metric tons. Expectations for corn between 650 and 900,000 metric tons. And the largest expectations here for soybeans between 700 and 1 million metric tons. So the bottom line here, soybeans continuing to expect positive sales. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Earlier on in the trade today, we did get a nice, a sale here from Egypt. Gas bought 120,000 metric tons of wheat from France. Didn't look like we were even offering wheat here, considering the fact that we have so much grain here moving down the Mississippi.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of interesting right now looking at wheat. You know, there is chatter in the trade that no U.S. offers were made to Egypt. There's also some chatter though that Russia has priced itself out of the export market after their domestic demand has really picked up here, moving out of their harvest. So two kind of conflicting market fundamentals there. On one hand, we could see a little bit more demand come way of the U.S. or come to the U.S. as a result of that Russia story. But for the moment, it looks like France is winning out on the majority of those tenders there. That export sales report will be out tomorrow at 7:30 Central Time. We'll be tweeting about it as it comes out. You can follow us on Twitter at GrainTV. And just a reminder, if you do want to take a look at that mobile trading app, visit us over at grainhedge.com. You can take a 2-week trial and see if it's something that's going to be useful for your operation here as we move into harvest and beyond. If you have questions about that, give us a call, 877-472-4607. Have a great evening. We'll see you back here for the export sales report.